Well, hello there in YouTube land and welcome back to the channel. And today we are at San Jacinto Harley Davidson and we are on the demo day and we are about to hop on the ultra limited 120th anniversary edition, and let's look at that beauty. Yeah, you too. Thank you. How's it going?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Still have plenty of bikes to go. Yeah. So this bike,
Describe it.
I have 737 now. So that's 5 more from last week. So that's not bad.
I was 733.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the Ultra Limited is the Grand Tourer of the Harley lineup, but this edition, the 120th anniversary, is going to have, well, this paint scheme, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it is worth it because look at it, it's beautiful. Now, what makes this bike different from, let's say, my Street Glide? Well, you see the top box, you're going to see that it has some oil cooling elements here in the lower fairings. It has this thing where you can plug your things. All of this is different, it's nicer, it's more premium. Damn, it's heavy as hell. It is a heavy boy because it's the Grand Tour, so it has basically everything. So let's see how it's like to ride. Let's see if it's not too top heavy. Now this one has the 114 engine, so it does feel a little bit more substantial on that regard. Oh, let's turn off the music, otherwise we'll get hit with the whole, what's it called? I don't know what's it called. All right, let's see if we're ready to roll. The guy leading is on the trike, so which is funny. Usually you have a trike at the end of the as a tail gunner, but this is what we're doing. Okay, we have a lady on a fat boy. That's nice. So we're just waiting for them to call us out so that we can start our ride. All right. So I think it's because of the suspension and the seat. This one feels a lot more squishier on the suspension than my Street Glide. My Street Glide, even though I set it up very soft, it's still a lot more, the suspension is a lot harder. This one feels very smooshy, very squishy. I don't know, but not in a bad way. Now I was expecting not to be able to flat foot this bike because of the seat, but right now I can flat foot it no problem. So this is not a bad seat to have if you're going to be doing some long, hard miles on the saddle. And so far it doesn't feel a lot heavier, but it does feel a little bit top heavy. But right away you feel the engine responds a little bit better than the 107. I think the 114 is like the perfect engine for these Harleys because the 117 tends to get a little snatchy, and this one is just smooth as butter, but it does give you the pep that you need to get out of trouble and to move around the traffic with this big heavy bike. Now once you start moving it, the weight kind of loses itself, or you don't feel it as much, so that's not bad for a big touring bike like this. And I'm guessing this is just the way they are built. They're when everything is factory as opposed to buying some cheap Amazon stuff, when everything is built and on the factory, because this one, for example, you have this tour pack You would think it would be like the same as on the one that you can buy on the street light, because it looks basically the same, but it's not. This one is framed or built onto the frame, so you can't really remove it. So that's why the bike is gonna feel a lot more stable than what you would do on a street light with a tour pack. And then this seat is very nice and comfortable. It has a lot of cushion on it, but the good thing is it doesn't rise you up a lot, so you can put your feet down. And then you have this bigger windscreen as well, which I don't like the aesthetics of it, but well, it's nice because you don't get the buffeting. And right now my line of sight is right here, so I don't know if you guys are getting a good shot of what you would feel like riding this bike. And the bike also, the seat gives me it pushes me forward. On my street glide I'm like here, and right here I'm on this one I'm here. So if you know the difference, it's a little bit, but maybe it's not too much, but it is enough. So when you're riding closer to the front wheel, you feel like the bike is smaller. So that's another thing to consider about this seat. I'm gonna have to try out, because they do offer some test rides on seats. Maybe I can try this seat in one of the Harley dealers on my street glide and see if that's the best choice. Because obviously it doesn't look as cool as the streamlined seat that comes standard on the regular street glide. But for when you're bringing your old lady, when you bring your passenger, well, you need a very comfortable seat. And I bought one from Amazon, which so far is so good, but this is miles apart. I mean, this is miles away, the level of comfort. Another thing about a bike that's built from the factory instead of something that you, well, put on stuff on it, this one, when you come to a stop, it doesn't feel like it's gonna drop all the way. It does feel very planted. One of the things that I don't like about this bike is this thing. It seems like an afterthought, because this one feels like, all right, it's just the same one as in my street light standard, and they just put the little badge here, and this badge doesn't feel very premium for a bike that is a limited edition. You see, 64 out of 1300. So I don't know, that little badge, the badge is not bad, but this fuel cap is not very premium. Now this one does have heated grips, but look at this. They're boring and horrible. So I wouldn't necessarily buy this bike. It's not a bad bike, but I feel like it's an old man's bike. And you would think, well, street light is just the same, but no, it's a little bit different. It just feels a lot sportier and a lot more badass. You feel on this one like you are, yeah, like you're an old man riding a big SUV. Now look at that beautiful bike. That's the one I want to ride next, the Breakout 117. Now, I already ridden one, but I didn't have a chance to record a video for you guys, so that's why I want to ride that one. So I mean, a lot of the things on the Ultra are different from my street glide, but I don't think there's anything on it that I would say, you know what, yeah, it's worth the price, I would buy it. Example, these mirrors are horrible. Mine are nicer. It comes standard with these. The ones I bought from Amazon are pretty terrible, but I don't think I need them. I removed them and I just got used to the buffeting of the bike. Oh, I like the way it drops on the corners. It just feels so smooth. I would love to take this to the twisties and see how it performs, because with that 114 engine, type of tires it has, it just, I don't know, it's very, for a big heavy touring bike, it feels pretty nimble. I thought it was gonna feel like really heavy and I was gonna struggle with it, but no. I mean, and then the way he handles the bumps, obviously the suspension is something that we need to we've already talked about it, guys. The street glide suspension on the standard is terrible, and you do need to upgrade it. So I mean, Harley, you need to do something about that suspension on the street glide, because the street glide standard is not a cheap bike, right? It's a $20,000 bike, $22,000 I think it was. So why, I mean, if you have suspension like this, why not just put it on that one as well? I would rather have paid a little bit more and have this type of suspension than, well, because on mine, I mean, my back hurts every time there's a bump. You have to go like this, oh, like this. Wait, I was doing that position when I precisely hit a bump. All right, so other things that are different on this bike. So this the dash and these little colors, right? I don't know if they're nicer than on mine. I don't know, the color scheme is different, but it's not better. And I don't know if you can see it better than on mine. So that's not something that would change, and I wanted to buy this one. This one is gonna have a better boom box and infotainment system. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's worth the upcharge. Now these glossy finish on all of these elements, they are a little bit better, but they're just different. It's not like, oh my god, I would kill to have the glossy paint on my street glide, because mine is nice enough. Maybe it's this one is easier to clean, maybe. And then the whole idea of, okay, I have the lower fairings, right? That's not a bad thing. I bought the cheap ones from Amazon, and they sucked because, well, these, what they have is that they are helping the engine stay cool. And on mine, what happens is during the summer, it stops the air from coming in, and it's an air-cooled engine, so the engine started getting really hot. So I had to remove them during the summer. But also aesthetics-wise, it's different, right? So you have that option. Here you can't. You're stuck with it. You can't remove the trunk. You can't remove these. You can remove the windshield and have another one. But I don't know. I think it's part of the whole bike. So you can't really change a lot of things on this one, as opposed to buying a street glide and getting all the elements. You do feel, obviously, the factory stuff is better, the bike rides better, it has a better quality, but I mean, I don't know, it's what you pay for. You want a street glide for extra long touring, it's not really gonna be as good as this bike. Why am I signaling that I'm turning if I'm not turning? I had the eventual right, but I don't know. Right now I'm enjoying this ride, even though we're going really slow. I was hoping a little bit more of a freeway like we did last week. I had stubs. But this is giving you the opportunity to actually test this ultra limited on real world conditions. And this ride is not as bad as the one we did on stubs cycles with the Suzukis, which was really slow, and then on terrible roads. These are regular roads. Houston is not known for its great pavement. All right, they're gonna be bumpy. So this gives you the opportunity to know, you know what, this suspension, this seat, this is a very comfortable. You're really, I mean, I'm really enjoying this bike. Now, would I put it on the list? That's a great question. No, I would not. I would not put it on the list because there are other options that are more to my type of riding. Now, if I had, let's say, I don't know, if I won the lottery and I can buy 100 bikes, then yes, this would be on the list. But if I'm getting a list of only like around 12 bikes, this would not be on the list, because if I want a big touring bike, the K1600 from BMW is very sporty, and it's suited more for my type of riding. But I don't think that's going to be as comfortable for the old lady as this bike. I think this is the best bike for touring with your old lady. So if you're going to do now, if you're going to be touring, let's say in South America, Mexico, Latin America, I don't think this would be the best bike for that, because, and I don't think touring with your old lady through Latin America would be also the best thing, because the roads are sometimes they're awesome and you want to have a really sport bike, and then when they're not awesome, they're terrible. So you need something that is going to have some off-road capabilities, because in some of those countries, right, sometimes they're, I don't know, fixing some road, and then you have to go through some gravel. So this would not be a good bike to go on the gravel. But if you're touring, let's say North America, yep, that means the United States and Canada, where you're gonna have a long miles of freeway, and then some twisties that you can go and find. Yeah, those would be a good bike to do that on. Now, if you want to commute on a bike like this, do this every day, for starters, I don't like doing this on a Harley, because the pedal is really high, and it just I'm talking about the brake pedal. What happens is your foot starts getting tired just from having to hold it up and then getting it down on the so yeah, it's a little bit annoying. So that's because you use the back brake a lot while you're doing some slow maneuvers, so it just tends to get a little bit I don't know, a little bit too uncomfortable. But overall, I mean, I like the bike. It's not a bad bike. I think it is worth the money, but finding neutral is always hard on these big Harley Davidson touring bike, on every Harley Davidson, right? But especially on these, they have the Milwaukee 8. I don't know what's with the, and I think it's on purpose that they keep them like that, because they're very clunky. You want to hear that that gear come in. So I don't know if we're gonna have a moment where we can give any of these bikes a little bit more of an acceleration test, because if I want to test ride the Breakout, I don't want to be going 35 miles an hour. I want to be going 36 miles an hour. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I want to test ride. I want to see if the engine is worth it, right? I want to show you guys. I can't show you even if I slingshot as much as I can without getting kicked off the demo, I'm not going to be able to accelerate a lot. Well, so what else can we talk about this bike? So the brakes, I think they're similar to mine. I don't feel any different, like, oh, it stops on a dime and I can stop with 2 fingers. No, they're just as bad. Harley Davidson is one of those things. I mean, the new CVOs, they do have the Brembos, and they're a lot nicer. I hope everything on the new CVOs trickles down to all of these models, because yeah, I mean, come on, Harley Davidson, it's been a while since you upgraded. That's it. That's the end of the demo? Oh no, we're gonna go on I don't know if we're going on the Beltway. I hope we can get on. No, we're not gonna go up on the Beltway, because that's they charge you on that, so I don't think that'll be a possibility. But anyway, so why is this dude now on this side and now I'm on the other side? I don't know. Keeps changing his we're not turning on red lights, so we have to wait here now. which is great. Let's try the stereo.
18-wheeler wreck. Let's talk about your case for free. Call me.
Okay, let's turn it off now. This is exactly the same as on mine. The only thing that's going to be different is the speakers. So it's going to have more amps and more better speakers. And I do believe, no, speakers on the back. I think it has speakers, yeah, right here. I don't know if they're connected or not, but yeah, they have. It has speakers right on the passenger back rest in the trunk. So instead of only 2 speakers, it has four speakers. I thought they would put speakers here and on the saddles, but on the saddlebags, but they didn't. For an ultra limited, I think they should, especially if it's a special edition. Because it's one of those things that you don't care about while you're riding a bike without a stereo. Ooh, this is it. That's the end of the ride. So pretty slow ride, pretty slow demo. But I did enjoy this bike, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell button, and share it with all your friends. If you don't like the videos, well, share it with all your enemies. Look at that. That's my streak light right there. And I'll see you guys on the next one.